So stay tuned for the whole video because just dawned on me. I'm gonna take my shirt off for this video, but I gotta back up, figure out how to do that. Let's think that through. If I were to just stand up right here and take my shirt off, it'd be weird. All right, well, anyway, I am going to take my shirt off for this video. I don't know how I'll do it. I might pause and move the camera. I don't know what I'll do, but we'll figure it out because that's the plan. You say, Josh, why are you taking your shirt off? What is this YouTube channel about? Who are you? What the heck? Okay, I think I was born out of season. Born out of season. I'm not a young man. I guess that's kind of obvious at this point. But when I was a younger man, I enjoyed being the class clown. I enjoyed doing everything I could to get a crowd, up and going. I liked to run up and down the front of the basketball court, or at a pep rally, a baseball field, out in a football, wherever. I love to get the wave started. I love to scream and yell. I love to do anything that I could to, and it would be things that would get all the attention on me. It's funny because I guess I started off my high school days at a larger school in Hickory, North Carolina. And then 3 years for my sophomore, junior, and senior year, I went to a much smaller school. And I guess that loud passion, screaming, yelling, getting people's attention, being more of a class clown. I think I did that in both schools, but the more energetic, the more passion, the getting crazier stuff definitely happened in those last 3 years more than my freshman year. Freshman class was huge. My sophomore, junior, and senior class was tiny. It was, I think we graduated with like 13 people. So you say, Josh, why are you doing this video? Stay tuned. Remember, I told you I'm going to take my shirt off in this video. You say, Josh, why on earth would you take your shirt off? You're an old man. Nobody wants to see you. You're not going to start an OnlyFans. It's not happening for you, bud. That's not the way it's going to work. You're right. I probably should tell you this later, but let me tell you right now, I'm a happily married man. I'll talk about my family here in a minute. And so when you see me with my shirt off, don't start sending me messages. I'm not available. I'm happily married. I'm going to celebrate. Before you see this video, I will have, that's maybe not true, but right around the time you see this video, pretty soon thereafter or before, I will celebrate 30 years of being happily married for at least one or two of them. Anyway, you say, Josh, what's this video about? Well, this is just this is a YouTube channel where I'm just going to talk about me. You say, why do we care about you? Well, I'm an adult who's never been formally, not formerly, but professionally diagnosed with any kind of, I've not been professionally diagnosed, but maybe I should be. I've never actually been in professional counseling, but maybe I should be. But I've never been professionally diagnosed with what some people call attention deficit disorder or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD or something like that. And I don't even really know what I have. What I do know is that throughout my life, people have said to me, Josh, hello, are you there? Come back. They've closer friends at some point or another have said, okay, Josh, stop looking at the wallpaper, stop counting the ceiling tiles. There are ceiling tiles in here. I do remember as a young kid in in church with my grandfather, I would sit up in the sound booth, and I remember so many times, and it was like at a balcony kind of thing. I remember so many times counting, like what would you count? I'd count the pieces of wood in the ceiling. I would count the lights in the sanctuary. I would just count all kinds of things. I don't think I'm autistic, but I'm certainly on some spectrum, you know what I mean? Anyway, what I'm gonna do in these videos, this YouTube channel, is just gonna be a place for me to journal my journey. I'm gonna journal my journey. You say, Josh, your journey, you're almost 50 years old. Why would you be journaling your journey at this point? Well, it'll be a look back at my life. It'll be a look forward to the future, but it will partially be about my health journey. So as I start this part of my health journey, I'm gonna once a week, I'm going to talk about my weight and my sugar. And so my weight today was 295 pounds, 295.4 pounds, and my sugar was 240. During this health journey for the next 37 weeks, I'm going to kind of implement each week a health hack. Actually, it's 37 fat loss hacks I know at 30 that I wish I knew at 25 by Oliver Anwar. It's Anwar. I've never met the guy. I know nothing about the guy. I haven't even read the 37 fat loss hacks. You say, Josh, why would you commit to doing something? Why would you be recording something? Well, if you see in this video, then I've made it through at least 10 weeks of this process, because I'm not going to post the first video until I have about 20 videos ready to go. And my plan at this point, at day one, at this stage of the game, is to post about twice a week. And it'll just be posts that I choose to post, and it'll be about Josh. You say, who's Josh? Why do we care? Well, first of all, I told you that I'm undiagnosed professionally, but I feel strongly that I have some kind of even adult attention deficit disorder. Let me give you some, and you know what? Sometimes I said to my wife just a couple of days ago, I was like, babe, it's not attention deficit disorder. I have the ability to hyper-focus. I was in my office, which a lot of people come in and out of the house. Not a lot of people, but my family comes in and out of the house by walking through my office. And just the other day, I said to my wife, are Faith and are Angel and Elijah here? And she's like, yeah, they walked right by you, obviously. And I was like, ugh. And I was like, well, when did you come inside? And she said, I walked by you. I talked to you. I mean, so somehow I was so hyper-focused on what I was doing. I was probably planning these YouTube videos. But anyway, I was so hyper-focused that I totally missed it. And I said, I don't think I have attention deficit disorder, because I was able to give my attention very strongly to what I was doing. And so it can't be attention deficit disorder. And and I hope maybe there'll be some professionals that watch this video and you'll be able to help me diagnose this. Maybe it's not ADHD, maybe it's AD something, maybe it's PQRST, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I almost went into respect, RES, anyway. Whatever it is, I've got it. I don't know what it is, but I need you to help me diagnose it. And I'm gonna talk to you about how I hate to say succeeded in life, because I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, and I'm not bragging. I don't feel like I know I haven't arrived. I want to go further. I want to do more. I want more things in my life, but I think some people with this disease, this ailment, whatever this is that I have really struggled in life. Maybe they struggle because they failed to stick with something long enough. And of course, that's certainly something that's happened with me. I've failed to stick with things. But I'm going to say that I want to talk about how to be successful with ADHD in spite of ADHD or maybe because of ADHD. I think that to some extent, a lot of what I've been able to achieve in life has been partially because of the way my brain works. And again, I don't know how, is if you're seeing this video, then it's probably around July the 23rd, 2025 or after. And I've already started this 10 weeks of this journey. I'm going to do 37 weeks because that's what Oliver, who I don't know anything about him, but let's just talk about that for a minute. I want to talk in these videos. I'm going to talk about my health, 295, 240 blood sugar this morning. That was after I played basketball this morning, and it was at about 853, something like that. But anyway, I don't know him, but I think that my life is going to change because of my reading and working through those 37 fat loss hacks. I bet I've recorded myself 4 or 5 different times throughout my life, and I've decided, I'm going to make a video every day, and I'm going to record what I weigh every day, and I'm going to eventually share it with the world. Well, this time I think I'm really going to do it. So if you're seeing this video, then at least 10 weeks in, I'm still doing it. But stay tuned. This is 10 weeks earlier. I called this video 10 weeks earlier. I think that's the plan. But anyway, you say, Josh, you're rambling. Yes, I'm going to talk about I'm going to tell you 10 things that you probably will hear about some in this video. In these videos, in this YouTube channel. 1, my health journey. 2, my faith journey. I grew up in a cult. Mom, grandma, all of those people around me. I'm so sorry that I'm saying this out loud, but yes, I believe that we grew up in a cult. You say, Josh, what is a cult? I would define a cult as any group of believers that threatens eternal damnation if you don't accept what they teach you and ostracizes you if you leave. And the faith that I grew up in absolutely does both of those things. And you say, Josh, what's your faith today like? I would say that my faith today is real. I think I have a sincere, real faith, and it is, I'll call it a journey of mysticism that is centered on the love of God and love of others. You say, who is God? We'll talk about that a lot. I'll talk about that over time, but mainly I want to say that my journey is a journey of mysticism that's centered on love of God and love of others. So that's my faith journey. I have no idea what this Oliver guy believes, and I don't care. I'm just using those 37 fat loss tips. He might have got them off of ChatGTP 5 minutes before he posted them, or he might be the most amazing, renowned health expert ever. Stay tuned. We will talk to him on one of these coming up YouTube channel videos. You say, really? You've got an appointment? No, it's going to happen. We're going to talk to him because I'm going to talk about his 37 fat loss hacks. And I'm going to ask him, did you just pull that off? Anyway, my political journey. We'll talk about my political journey some. I believe that I'm more conservative than Republicans or more conservative than those people on the right. And I'm more liberal than those people on the left. I would call myself a libertarianist, but or I would say I believe libertarianism, but I don't. That's not really, it doesn't fit. In fact, just like my faith journey, my political journey, I can't really find a club that I fit completely in. In fact, I'm not sure we should have those clubs that we fit completely in. I think that might be a problem just altogether. What if our faith and our political journey, well, honestly, I think they're the same thing. Politics is just how we figure out how to get along, and faith is just the belief that how we get along matters, maybe, or that there's something bigger out there. Or mysticism, by the way, I would define mysticism is just the belief that whatever that is, that thing we call God or that thing we call love, I believe that love, God, whatever that is, speaks to us. I believe there is communication between us and whatever we want to call God. Okay, so we're going to talk about my health journey, my faith journey, my political journey, my ADHD journey. We're going to talk about my type 2 diabetes. I feel certain that I won't be considered type 2 diabetic maybe by the time you see this video, but it probably, I mean, I won't get a doctor to agree with it for probably a year from now. But I think that that's going to be part of this. I will tell you, on the 37 fat loss hacks, I saw like number 2, I think, number 1 and number 2. I'm going to practice number 1 this week. Number 1 this week is just about consistency. And so today marks the start of me being consistent, doing it whether I feel like it or not. So every day for the next 7 days, and counting today, I am going to be very, very focused on being consistent with my exercise, consistent with and I've seen week 2, and week 2 will change my life. And I'll start that 1 week from today. And I think you should stay tuned in and see what that was like. It'll be 9 weeks it'll be 10 weeks in the past when you see the video. But if I stick with number 2, it will change my life. And I think it'll change your life. I think this journey, these conversations can change lives. Anyway, so I'll talk about my type 2 diabetes journey, and I think it'll be over within a year. We're also going to be talking about my 4 kids and my wonderful wife, just because I just need a place to brag about my family. I absolutely love my family. I've been married almost 30 years, like I told you, and my children are Noah, Adam, Elijah, and Faith. Noah, Adam, Elijah, and Faith are the most important things in my world, next only to my wife. And you say, well, what about God? Okay. You're going to learn as we have this journey together that I think if I love my wife, I love my children, I love the people around me, I love others, that is the way to love God. And so I can't see God. I feel like I have communicated with God, but it's not the same as putting my arms around my wife. It's not the same as telling my kids how proud I am of them or how much I love them. And so I've come to the conclusion that the best way for me to follow God and love God is to love others. And I start with my family. So you're going to learn about Noah, Adam, Elijah, and Faith, but it would be wrong of me to leave out Alex, Mackenzie, Angel, and Dalton. Those are people that I care about and love as well. So you'll learn about them as we go. I don't want you to think that we're going to be spending all this time talking about my family, but I'll tell you what, the reason I care about my health journey is because I want to see them continue to grow, and I want to be around for them, and I want to be in their life. Yesterday, it turned out that I talked to all 4 of my kids for one reason or another. They either called me for something, but it was just so sweet at the end of the day to think that I had heard from or talked to all 4 of my kids. Anyway, we'll talk about my career. We're going to talk about we'll probably do a video just about all the jobs I've had. Because my journey with attention deficit disorder, or whatever we're going to define this as, and I don't know how to title it or what category to put it in the YouTube search, but whatever it is it's a thing that I've struggled with. And because of my struggles, it has included me changing jobs a lot. It's not that I've been fired or been let go from jobs. It's just that I've gotten bored, and I've changed my careers quite a bit. And if you're watching this and you're like, oh no, I don't know if I should do a mortgage with Josh because he changes careers. What if he changes careers in the middle of a mortgage? Well, that's not going to happen. I believe that I'm in the last of my careers. Being a full-time YouTuber will be my final career. I'm kind of joking, but helping mortgage loan originators across the country is so much fun for me, and helping people right here in Hickory, North Carolina buy homes. It's so freaking rewarding, and being able to do things like this as a part of that is rewarding. And so I've got a lot of variety. I've got a lot to do. And I think this will be my last career. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about me being a tightwad. And you say, Josh, why do we care that you're a tightwad? Well, I told you early on that I live in a house that's paid for. I'm thankful to my family and God. I'm thankful to the country that I live in, the place I've lived, and so I'm thankful for that. But being tight, being financially very, very frugal, I think is part of that. So I'll tell you, if you happen to be in Hickory or coming to Hickory or North Carolina, I'll be probably talking about when I find financial deals, because I just can't help but talk about it. I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy being frugal. And so I'll talk about that. But I also want to talk a little bit about my journey from being such a tightwad to being a very healthy, giving, sharing tightwad. Now, if you call me for money, remember, I'm further right than most conservatives I know. So if you call me and just ask for a handout, I'll probably tell you to piss off because that's, well, we'll talk about that as we go. We will talk about that a lot. So just stay tuned. I love basketball. Basketball is so much fun to me. I play as often as I can. I played this morning. I play at least 3 days a week. I like to play as much as I can. I might be going to play tonight if I can get done with all my work today in time. But right now, there is the NBA final, the NBA Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals. One has started, the other one starts tonight. So last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Timberwolves, and tonight the Indiana Pacers will beat the New York Knicks. You say, Josh, how do you know they're going to beat them? Well, I don't, but I hope that the Indiana Pacers beat the New York Knicks. For my friend, Mr. McCool, I am pulling for the Indiana Pacers tonight. And just, you know, we're way ahead of this, and this won't post for 10 weeks. So let's go make the prediction. I believe the NBA Finals will be the Indiana Pacers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I think the Thunder will win that series. Sorry, Mark. But I think the Thunder, I think this is the year. The Thunder, I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will win the MVP and the Finals MVP this year. And anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. But I love basketball. I get around my kids, two of my sons, and that consumes a lot of our conversation. I have this weird desire to do everything. So I might launch something from this YouTube channel. I don't know. Who knows? I might. I remember as a kid, I bought and sold baseball cards. I bought and sold go-karts. I just always want to do different things. I see restaurants and I think, oh, I want to own a restaurant someday. I probably never will. Maybe I will. Who knows? I want to open car lots sometime. You say, Josh, you can't do all of these things. You don't have time to do all these things. You're right. That's why I want to just be a part and hire people or train people or you know, encourage people to do these things. So I have a desire to do a lot of things. That's probably my ADHD brain. You say, Josh, you are sitting in front of a screen, and are you doing a good job of not being distracted right now? Well, everything around me is a single color. There's really nothing to catch my attention except my notes here in front of me. And so, whatever this is, I've got it. You're going to diagnose it, and we're going to keep getting better together. And okay, so last thing we'll talk about. I need to say it. I need to say it often. I need to talk about it as much as I can. But in my lifetime, on my 10-year wedding anniversary, my wife and I were in financial debt. We were in a mess. Now, you know that I hate debt. And I would encourage you, if you want a tip for today, here's my tip. Hate debt. Hate debt. You say, Josh, aren't you a mortgage lender? Don't you do debt for a living? Yeah. Let me give you the full tip. Here it is. Hate debt. If there's anything I want you to hate more than debt, hate renting. Hate renting or leasing more than debt. It's worse. It's worse. Renting or leasing is so much worse. It's worse than debt. I would not encourage you to get a car loan ever. And I would discourage you from ever entering a lease. And I'll tell you what, let me give a different tip to that. If you ever have a car loan or a lease, I hope it's a time in your life when you don't have to have it. In other words, you could pay cash for that car or that leased car vehicle, but you choose not to for some financial reason. And if you're smart enough to figure that out, great, good for you, go for it. But I want to tell you, as from a mortgage standpoint, hate debt, hate it, hate it, hate it. Pay that house off as quick and as passionately as you can, but I would hate rent more. You say, Josh, why? Why do you hate rent more? Because literally you get nothing for rent. At least with a mortgage, you're paying off a appreciating asset if you take care of your home. Now, if you're not going to take care of your home, rent, but don't rent from me. Okay, all right. So I think that's enough for today. And I want you to stay tuned. Please like and subscribe, because that's what we're supposed to say. And I want you to be a part of this journey. And you say, Josh, why would I be a part of this journey? What is it that you're doing here? Well, you could be a part of this journey because you just want to watch the 295-pound guy. I'm not going to say fat guy. The 295-pound guy. I am 6'5", by the way. Oh, and I got to take my shirt off. I said I was going to take my shirt off, and I am. I'm going to do it. So you could watch because you want to see me take my shirt off, or you could watch because you want to see me on this fat loss journey, or you could watch because you just want to see this ADHD brain, or maybe it's something else. I don't know what it is. I've not been professionally diagnosed, so if somebody want to volunteer to be my shrink or my whatever it is, my psychologist or my psychiatrist or whatever it is. Anyway, whatever that is, watch, like and subscribe. Watch me. Hopefully my body gets toned and I lose some weight, and all of that happens. And that's why I'm taking my shirt off, because I want to show you what it looks like today so that we can see what it looks like next time. So I guess I need to spin this video, and I probably need to back this up. And I'm sure we'll edit some of this out. But let's try this. Let's see if we can, lost the mouse. Let's see what happens if can I take my shirt off in front of the green screen? Probably not. Oh, good night. All right, here goes. This is what I look like on day one of this journey.